The spring migration continues, and anyone spending time outdoors is asked to keep an eye out these days for whooping cranes. We have Doug Leier with the North Dakota Game and Fish Department with us today to talk a little bit about this endangered species and kind of the specifics, because they do come through the area,
right? And
they're very specific, because some people think they see them and they don't.
No, and you bring up some very good points. There's actually like around 500 of these. I mean, this is one of the most endangered birds on the planet Earth, and it's kind of cool to think about our backyard of the Central Flyway, of having these birds flying through, essentially through North Dakota, possibly through western Minnesota. And when you see a whooping crane, as you see, I mean, these are huge white birds. Sometimes people might think a snow goose or a swan. We've got lots of swans around there. We've got a lot of birds around the area. But the whooping crane stands like from 5 to 7 feet tall. I mean, they are just absolutely huge in size. And there's so few of them. They're typically flying in maybe flocks of 3 to 5, maybe up to 7, somewhere along that. But if somebody says, you know, I saw a flock of 150 whooping cranes, you go, well, hold on here. You might be seeing pelicans. You might be seeing snow geese or swans. There's so many birds that are flying through the area. And as people get out and about, as we saw last weekend when spring kind of finally got here, a lot of people are getting out and about. We want people to keep their eyes open, Lisa.
So also, can you explain a little bit more? I mean, the size, the wingspan is like 7 feet, right?
Yeah, right. And again, we say these numbers, but if you look at them in comparison to even something like a swan, they're twice the size of what a swan would be. And the sheer endangered status of these birds means that we want to know where they're at. And we don't want people to disturb them. We don't want people going out to look for whooping cranes. But if you do come across and see whooping cranes, jot down as much information as you possibly can. If you're out turkey hunting, our turkey season opens up on Saturday, and you've got a spotting scope along, take a look, because they're going to have bands. They're going to have bands on both of their legs. Jot down any pertinent information you can. And then above all else, make sure that you please do report that information as quickly as you possibly can.
Okay, and so there's the phone number. Is that the best way to report them, by calling?
That's probably the best way to report is to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, but if you can contact a game warden, anybody from Game and Fish, the main thing is to get the information and then to report that information as well, Lisa.
We talk a lot about hunting, but this is just one of those, outdoors, great spring things that, it's interesting for anyone to kind of keep an eye out for.
Going outdoors may have just the sheer, the aura of seeing a whooping crane out in the wild.
Doug Leier with the North Dakota Game and Fish Department. Thanks for coming in today.
You're welcome.